Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm so glad to hear this Monday morning. What a way to start a week. You get to watch a show like Panhandle Outdoors and get all this information and all this encouragement and all the entertainment. We're just glad to be here. Got a special guest here this morning, and we're going to get started. Our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and 77. Got a little bit of cool weather coming. Highs only going to get up to 62 and lows 42. Now, on Monday, we'll do a Monday moon forecast. The full moon in March, and that's going to be the 21st. That's going to coincide. Remember, I'm telling you, everybody's going to be fishing on March the 1st. You always want to fish a couple of days before the full moon. So we may just have a holiday here in the Panhandle. Nobody goes to work and nobody fishes on the 20th of March because it's going to be a good time, providing weather's hanging there. Tide chart, good tides today. Low this morning at 5:33 and low at 8:05. And we have good tides the next couple of days, but you're looking on to the weekend, not much tidal flow this weekend, so keep that in mind. A lot of neat tides Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The marine forecast will be coming out of northwest at 10 to 12. All right, let's take a break, come back with our guest. All right, welcome back, and familiar guest here on Panhandle Outdoors, Daniel Cole.
How you doing this morning, Winston?
Good morning, buddy. Glad to have you. Daniel, you've been a busy man. We're laughing. One thing you have been busy with is hunting.
No, I have not done any hunting.
This the same story, second line, and because what's the situation?
All trees are down on our lease, can't get through the roads, and I don't think the deer come back from vacation after the storm. I think they moved to Canada or something.
You know, we talk about that, and local people understand. You people have a lot of folks watching on YouTube, and they can't comprehend us not being able to get in the woods. But we just flat out, for the most part, can't get in the woods.
That's right.
I never thought I'd sit here on this outdoor TV show and say we can't get in our woods, but it slowed a lot of us down. But meanwhile, you've been working on the boats. You've been doing a lot of boat stuff.
A lot of boats. We've been very busy with a lot of legal representation for clients.
Yes.
We just won another really big case for a client that he was actually the victim of arson. And we actually were able to help him get his finances back from the responsible party.
Good deal.
And get him set up back where he should be. And then also we've been doing a lot of schooling. We went to Louisiana for a marine fire arson investigation course.
Because I was going to get you to come on a show, and that week I said, no, I'm going to be out there. I said, that sounds like a really fun time for learning stuff. And I said, be sure to take some pictures and all because we want to share it with our viewers. So we got our first picture here, and you drove. Yeah,
it was in Baton Rouge, so it wasn't bad. But we went to the.
I like that picture.
We went to Louisiana State Law Enforcement Academy, and they have, man, that's an incredible staff, incredible place, excellent learning facility, and it's in a big block. It's kind of neat. You go way back out in the woods, and it's all blocked. You have no phone service or nothing there, but they do everything. They train hazmat. They train anti-terror, they train SWAT, special response teams. They have their standard law enforcement course there for the state troopers. And it's just a very beautiful, clean facility, excellent learning environment. So the kind of overseer of it, he allowed the International Association of Arson Investigators to come, which, as you know, I'm a member of IAMI as well.
Yeah, that's what that means. People understand that, yeah.
And IAMI is actually International Association of Marine Investigators, but the IAAI, this was their first course designed specifically for marine fires, marine arson. And it made a really neat thing because being the only surveyor there, I was actually able to help them critique and actually improve their curriculum because they were excellent fire investigators that were teaching the course. Many of them didn't have any marine experience, so that some of the terminology was off and all, and we were able to help kind of correct that while we were there.
That's cool. Y'all sort of feeding off each other, sharing their
absolutely.
Knowledge. And that was cool.
So, but we had a great time.
Okay, the second picture here, tell us.
Now this is a boat. We had several of these, and we were just brought to a burnt boat, and it was our job to figure out what caused this fire. And the instructors were excellent in coming up with. This was not like something easy to find.
You know, I often think about these arson investigators in buildings, and of course now boats and all. And you know, all I see is just big charred mess. How in the world do they? You know, most times they find out how it started.
You got to be a paleontologist, basically.
Whoa.
You go back and you have to dust everything out.
Yeah, how do they figure that out? Okay, so y'all started went to boat. Woo, y'all put one on fire?
Yeah, this is actually this was showing. Believe it or not, this was like a mock-up of one boat collided with another and caught fire.
Okay.
There's actually 2 boats in this picture that are burning, and it helped assimilate, you know, because now you've got 2 boats. You've got to forensically determine what happened. So, you know, what caused the fire? Because a lot of people think, oh, well, it had a crash and it caught on fire. Well, when you get into insurance and attorneys, that's never enough. It's like, what caused the fire? Who caused it? Who's at fault? Because they're going to sue everybody till they get back to God to figure out what's going on with this.
You know, it was you look at this picture, and every year somewhere in the Panhandle this happens. But boat's going to catch on fire either at the dock or somewhere. You have boat fires. I mean, I know you see it. And
I actually had a boat that I surveyed probably about 6 months ago, and the client, I turned it down for my client, and then another surveyor came behind me, and I guess he was less skilled. He for his client passed the boat, and then the first time he took it to the fuel dock, it exploded.
Oh.
And you know, we noted that there was you know, fuel in the bilge, and that, you know, there was all kind of problems with the boat, but it's
that's nothing to play with.
No.
Okay. And
now this picture here, this demonstrates how your chain of evidence is actually remanded from the boat. Spread out a tarp, start picking things out, laying it on that blue tarp.
Okay.
And then you kind of build a chronological order of what transpired, and then that you're able to determine from that what caused the fire. Believe it or not, these fire instructors were so good. The boat that we had, actually, what caused that fire was they had simulated a cord faulting on a little space heater, and when the boat all melted down, the space heater couldn't hardly be found. But we actually located that, and of course I was working with a great team. We had, it wasn't like I just did this on my own, but we had great team members, and we were able to locate that and determine this is what caused it. And the whole thing came down to a couple pieces of wire about that big.
Oh my goodness!
But I was surprised. Everybody in our course passed. Everybody found what was going on in their boat, and it was really amazing.
You know, I guess you really, number one attribute I think you would have to have would be patience. I mean, you got to really be patient and just go through piece by piece. I don't know if I could do that.
We had a specialist, who's an ATF agent out of Texas, that was working on our team, and he was a fire investigator too. And he just went and started pulling stuff out, and that I've never seen a chain of evidence come out like that. But he knew what it was. I mean, when we got done, he says, "I think this is where it's going to be," and he took us right to the point. And he'd done it so much, and then. We had electrical engineers on our thing. We had investigators on our thing. And then all of us breaking it all down, we were able to come up with it. But we had 4 or 5 different teams that were working on each boat had its own scenario.
That's cool. So, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're Daniel Cole, and when you want to know something about boats or anything, this is the man to get a hold of. He's an expert. Now learn how to burn boats, or not to burn them, but find out how they burn. This is a little classroom shot. Y'all had to go to class?
We had very intensive 3 days of just classroom study, a lot of NFPA information and material to cover.
Yeah. You didn't think when you graduated from school, you didn't think you had to go back to class?
No, it's become a fact of life again.
Yeah, and the last picture here.
Yeah, that was actually the boat that that my team had to dissect. This was actually a cuddy cabin boat, and the cabin's gone. And some of the other boats were destroyed a little more, a little less. But that, like I said, came down to a space heater on one of those brown three-plug hole extension cords you get for $4 at Walmart.
No kidding. Something that simple.
Yeah, I mean They duplicated it, but that is known to be a very common thing.
Yeah. You know, in general, though, just get back here local here in Panhandle or anywhere in Florida or along the coastline, most boat fires are electrical origin, aren't they?
Yeah,
I mean,
they are.
And it's very seldom got somebody's cigarette or anything like that. Most of it's just some kind of electrical.
No, you know, and to be honest, a lot of them are just user error. A lot of people buy a boat, they have inboards. It's more common on inboards than it is on the outboard.
Yeah.
But if you have an inboard engine, your boat should have blowers, and you should aerate that area for at least 5 minutes. Run the blowers, pump any fumes out you got, because any electrical spark, ignition from anything, can set that off, and that's what often happens. There was a boat that happened to here at one of the local docks here a while back, and they didn't run the blowers, and thankfully there were people on the dock there who knew what they were doing, and they got the boat cut away and got the people to the hospital.
Yeah.
But a little bit of thought and prevention would have saved all that misery.
Okay, for our viewers now, say just some good advice on if you're on the boat, say this summer and all, you're on your boat and all, and you see a little flame coming up. Okay, well, first thing you want to do is grab your fire extinguisher if you can.
Yep.
And try to get to it. But now, the question to me, I've always wondered myself, when do you jump overboard? when do you get out of there?
It depends, and it depends on where the fire's coming from. But good common sense is, if you see flames going, you better be making an exit strategy
that explosion
right now.
Sooner or later, it's going to get there.
Do not wait and try to fight the fire first. Go ahead, don your PFDs, and if it's a raft, go ahead, get out. Whatever you can get out, get ready to abandon ship first. Then worry about trying to fight it, because a lot of people have actually been blown overboard not wearing their personal flotation device, and they drown.
Oh.
Or they fall overboard, or the heat gets so bad they can't get to it. So the first thing is always put that PFD on first.
Okay.
And then do what you can do, and if you can't do nothing else, get off the boat and let it go.
Yeah.
Get away from it.
Well, we talk a lot about boating safety every year in Panhandle Outdoors, and that's something we need to be aware of.
And also, if be responsible. If you're tied up at a dock and there's room, cut the lines and kick it out of there. Get away from the other people's boats.
Good point. Good point.
Don't let it burn other people's boats up too.
And I guess, real quick while we're on Louisiana, tell us about Louisiana. I hadn't spent a lot of time. I've been in lower Louisiana.
I tell you, they say it's a sportsman's paradise. I had only been in areas that were industrial and city. This area was actually a little place, I forget the name of it. It's right outside of Baton Rouge. It was some of the most beautiful, deep south, heartland, woodland, whitetail country I've ever seen in my life. It was just beautiful.
Did you get the fever to go hunting?
Oh, absolutely. I'd get bored in class and I'd go look out the window on the ridge line and look for deer. But the deer there are so common at this particular facility. One of the SRT snipers there told me that very commonly when they're shooting on the sniper range, that the deer will come out, and when they hear the shot, they'll lay down, and they can see them sitting there. It's an open grass field, but they'll wait, and about the time they get done and shooting and they start loading up, then the deer will get up and they'll walk on across. They're just so used to it.
Isn't that amazing?
They have no fear of the rounds going over their head because none of them get hunted there.
That's amazing.
Just generations of that.
They know to go ahead and just duck.
Yeah, kind of like Cage Cove there. They
exactly.
have a lot of deer like that.
That's right.
They don't get hunted, so there's no fear.
And we're talking about how animals, how deer especially, get acclimated to their environment.
Yep.
And out here in the woods, where we all hunt, they're wild.
Yep.
I mean, but let's talk about deer real quick too. I'm telling everybody, and I've got evidence of this now because I'm getting statistics. Most the deer harvest this year was low compared to
very low,
and we all guessing next year there's going to be a lot of deer harvested.
I think that there'll be a lot of bigger deer harvested.
Yes,
I very much am for the expanding the size of antler growth that is allowable by FWC to hunt. Mm-hmm. I see these guys. Everybody's got their thing, but if you want to shoot this little spike. If you're shooting spikes and 4 points, you're never going to kill a nice mature deer because that's the seed that grows them. And I know some guys, it's just whatever comes out. They have that saying, if it's brown, it's down.
Brown, down, yeah.
I don't get that myself.
Yeah, no.
I'm not trying to step on anybody else's ideas.
I feel the same way, yeah.
But if I'm going to sit in the stand, I would much rather shoot a 200-pound mature deer than just be there and shoot a 100-pound Bambi that, you know, is not going to feed you as long. That's what I'm there for, to feed my family.
And I agree, and I think the trend over the years, is everybody's sort of going that way now. I mean, way back in the day, everybody was just shooting anything and all.
Yeah.
And they're learning, and I think it's a generational thing. And but there's always a segment that's going to do that. But the majority of us that are bona fide, true outdoorsmen, we all preach the same sermon.
Yep.
And we feel strong about that. And so and you'll see the quality of deer management on a lot of places. And,
well, it's like one of my friends over in Bluntstown who's in my lease says, you know, it's almost like livestock. Mm-hmm. You have to protect, you have to feed, you have to, you know, mature your livestock, get the most out of it. And you know, nobody raises cows a little ways and then they're like, you know, all right, let's have this beef butcher. I mean, you get the most out of your money for what we pay for a lease, for what we pay to feed the deer, for what we pay to travel to where our lease is, to clothing, all the other stuff, scent control, everything we do, we owe it to ourselves and to the deer to try to harvest mature animals that are going to feed our family for a while.
That's true.
Not just to say I just killed something.
That's true. Now let's take our final break and we'll be right back with Daniel. Okay, welcome back. See, we're Daniel Cole, our local boat surveyor, knows he's a boat expert here on Panhandle Outdoors, and we have a boat question. We're going to call Daniel. Hey, what's going on with this? I got a hole in the boat. What do I need to do? Let's get our fishing game time brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers today, 10:36 to 12:36, and the second one will be this evening from 10:59 to 12:59. Two quick pictures I want to show you. I had them together. In case you're wondering, and they misspell your, so it should be R-E. That's one of my pet peeves. My English teacher maybe do that. We're okay in Sunny Hills. Everybody, we talk about all the water and the sand hills. That is so true. And the other picture I want to show you, okay, this is coming from Blue Water. So Bobby down at Blue Water showed me, he said, "Morning, Winston. A customer wanted me to send you a pic of his friend's 26-pound cat that he caught. His name is Charles Stringfeller." Okay, Charles, right there. Good job, Charles. 26-pound catfish. That's a big catfish.
Yeah. You'll eat on that a while.
Yeah. Now you were mentioning something off air. What were you going to talk about?
Oh, I got a question for you. You always asking questions. Where are some good open ramps? Because I have people asking me. We're putting in our boat. We're wanting to go to Shell Island. It's getting that time, but.
Mm-hmm. And that is a challenge. We do know that St. Andrews State Park, you want to go to Shell Island, probably the quickest route now would be go to St. Andrews State Park and put in a boat ramp there. Okay. And go right across the pass and all. You know, downtown Marina where most people go, you know, it's not open.
I went down, they told me the other day, we won't be open for more than a year is what the lady on site told me.
That's right, at least a year off down there. And I haven't checked on the Millville ramp, but that might be, we'll check on that.
I was down there the other day and they had looked like an oak tree laying in it in the water.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's clear or not. There's also another one off of over there off of Bertha in Callaway, but it's very shallow to get in and out of. Yeah. But it's I don't know if it's open or not. It may be another option, but
well, that's a good question. Also, on the west end of the Hathaway Bridge, that little boat ramp there. It's not a lot of room for parking, and most people don't even know there's a boat ramp on the west end of the Hathaway Bridge. But there's a boat ramp there, and that'll be a good access point right there.
That's good to know.
But a lot of St. Andrews, it's just tough getting in and out. But anyway, that's going to be, there are places to go. You just sort of have to make sure you know ahead of time before you go down there. Nothing more aggravating to go down there and say, oh no, it's closed, and have to change plans. We've got a couple minutes left now. Real quick, this is March. What do people need to be doing with their own personal boats? I check the fuel, I know. But
yeah, very definitely. I mean, we don't always have a winterizing program for everybody's boat here, I guess. But, you know, it's a good time to, I think one of the main things that fail after being set up is the water pump impeller and outboard.
Okay.
So it doesn't hurt to have things like that checked. Make sure your foot oil's good. Make sure, you know, with all the 4-cycle boat engines now, it's not like it used to be with, you know, all the oil and the fuel and everything.
Yeah.
Clean your gas tank out. If you haven't ran it in 6 months and you haven't stabilized your fuel, save yourself some headache, because when you get out there, it's probably not going to run. Clean it out, dump it, go ahead and put you some new fuel in there.
And folks, this is March now. We need to get out there and get all this stuff done.
Well, I'm just going to say this real quick. As big a flop as deer season was this year, I'm hoping we can make up for it.
That's the truth.
With some fishing this year.
That is the truth.
Going into this spring.
And so many of us, I know y'all have too, have been doing so much hurricane repair, recovery, R&R.
Yep.
But now we need the other R&R. Rest, relaxation, and fishing.
That's right. R&RF.
I'm really serious about this, and I keep kidding the people about March the 20th because it's the first day of spring, but that's only, folks, we're only talking about 3 weeks away, less than 3 weeks away. So we really need to have I'd be so disappointed. Can you imagine getting there on March the 20th and all of a sudden the boat's not running?
That's right.
How long would I get the fuel? How long would it last? That's a tough question.
I'm going to tell you, I only run non-ethanol, and every professional I know only runs non-ethanol. Now, it can be a challenge to find at times. They do make products that they say will stabilize it, will not harm the engine. The best thing to me is just prevention. I don't use it. If I can't get non-ethanol, I'm not going to put anything in my boat. Yeah. But it is becoming more and more available, and if you don't have the non-ethanol tends to last about 3 months with any kind of care, whereas this new hybridized fuel, it doesn't last more than about a month, and if you haven't stabilized it or done something, it's not going to work well.
Is there a good time now? Can you put stabilizer in it right now, say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of companies like Yamaha make great engine conditioners that have the stabilizer in it. When you put it in it, you're actually cleaning valves, you're lubricating stuff and protecting stuff. So there's a lot of good additives out there, and I believe in them. I do. The additives can make all the difference, because the fuel quality we get today is not even close to even what we got 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's coming from an expert too, folks. That's a big statement right there, because and that causes a lot of problems if you don't take care of it. So the additives are good.
Oh yeah.
I've always felt that way
absolutely.
too. At first I thought they were just trying to get my money, but then the more I researched it, they were getting it.
Well,
good.
Much what fuel was costing for a while. You needed to preserve it.
Okay. Thanks, Daniel. Good job, buddy.
Hey, thank you, bud.
All right. Thank you all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. Big show tomorrow. Y'all do something good today for someone else, and have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.